takes us to recognize what we're doing, because a lot of times we ignore what we're doing. We diminish the bigness of it, and we think, yeah, we're doing that, but we're not doing this. And I mean, I did it right. I did it today when I was sharing my speaker reel with you. I shared it with you, and then I said, well, it's a work in progress, but here it is. And I thought after, I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I diminished my light because I feel like I'm not there yet. So I have to kind of prep people to know that I'm not a big deal yet. I'm not on these huge global stages. I'm on a few. I'm on a couple platforms, but we tend to do that to ourselves.
Yes.
And
we don't acknowledge that we are the one. So I got 3 things for you.
I've been in their documentary, and I've been interviewed by the Mother Earth Effect book, and by Olivia Smith, that is the author, and I'll connect you with her too.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's so many benefits in earthing, and I recommend anyone go do it. It's free. You can go do that outside. Just put your bare feet on the ground.
So you've done a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews. I mean, your project is growing. It's becoming a movement. Have you ever had anyone ask you about your hair like that?
I have actually a few people.
Okay.
Yes, so it is a topic.
Well, and by the way, I commend you for that, because if it's not a topic, you're not doing it right. If it is a topic, you are causing people to ask, because you never asked me to say, tell me about your hair. Dr. Smiley, this was my pinky move. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for amplifying goodness in this world. Love, Brisa. And it is a heart, not love, but I do read it as love. And so I just want to say thank you, because those sentiments caused me to really take a deeper dive into who your message is, who you are, and who your message is for. And there's a part here, small moves to your great life after a paralyzing stroke. And it's not about a paralyzing stroke, just so I would like to share. It's about being paralyzed, period.
Yeah. So many of us walk around like this, and we think that.
Welcome, Brisa, to the Dr. Smiley Show. You look lovely as always. You're always dressed up. You're like a model.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So I've never had this happen before. I'm going to tell you something that's never happened. I've done 600 podcasts. I've never had anyone have their book 2 times before I had them on my show the same day. You've had this person here, Susan Troth, share your book on her show. You had Jimmy Owens, who is celebrating World Stroke Day with you, share your book on his show. And they both said the same thing. They said, I would love to actually have her part of my show.
That's cool? Very kind. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you.
So World Stroke Day, couple things about that. One is I didn't know it existed. That's first. And number 2, a week or 2 ago, we were supposed to do a show, and we said, this doesn't jive. It's not working. Let's find another time to do it. And it's so crazy when you actually look at why things are not supposed to happen, why they can happen later. And so I just want to say, welcome to the Dr. Smiley Show. Brisa Alfaro, the Pinky Moves Project. You are going to be amplified for the goodness you bring to the world.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. And it all comes back to you, man. That's beautiful work that you're doing.
Thank you. So I wouldn't know you or your book or get your book if it wasn't for an amazing person called Dr. Brody Miller.
That's right.
And I just want to give a shout out to him real quick. We don't normally do it this way, but I want to do it like really high class. Here we go. So we're going to go with, I did have it. I thought I had it set. I do want to show. I know what I did. It was the fact that we had your show on Facebook. So you ready for this? Amazon and Brody Miller. And there it is right there. The Brain Rescue.
Such a good book. I've read that book like 4 or 5 times.
And normally I have it actually right next to me because I kept waiting for him to be on my show. He's done multiple shows with me, but not this show. And this show is the Dr. Smiley Show. And the reason I want to say this is because this gentleman was asked a very important question. Who would you nominate to be on my show? And he picked you. That cool?
That is really cool. That's really
So
cool. His book is amazing. It's really good for us strokies when we're trying to understand these big concepts. He makes simplifies it so that we could get it. It's such a good book.
tell me about that, strokies.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm all about. So today is World Stroke Day, and I love that people are talking about strokes right now, and the message is getting out there. And um, here in the U.S., I mean, worldwide, I'm not sure what the number is,
I do
but
because I've done 2 shows
oh,
and
that's right,
15 million a year.
15
A
million.
year.
Wow.
How old were you when you had your first stroke?
I was 32.
And I did say I said you were in your early 30s, so that is a good guess. Okay, so
Yeah.
and by the way, what a gorgeous photo of you and your
Thank
book.
you.
And I do want
Thank
to
you.
say this book is a gem. And what I love about Brisa is that I said, hey, there's another stroke person who's a leader who's making all these things happen in the world. His name is Jimmy Owens, and he has a book too. She says, I'm buying it today.
Mhm.
You're an action person.
I am.
Can
I
I
do
tell
what
you
I
what my
can.
can I tell you why I know you are? Is when you have a stroke, you're awakened of how you play life every day in action.
100%.
So
100%.
so where were you born?
So I was born here in California,
Mhm.
and
What part?
I was Southern California. I'm in Southern California. And then my career was in the beauty industry. So I traveled with the beauty industry, and I ended up in a lot of places in this country. But one place I fell in love with was the city of New York. Every time I would go to New York,
How old were
I
you
just
then?
loved it. I was in my 20s,
And when
and
you say Southern, are you near San Diego?
I, uh,
How close?
relatively, yes, like
Well, I'm going
a
to San
couple
Diego.
hours.
Yeah, I'm going to San Diego. I want to meet you. I mean,
Oh,
we have to meet.
absolutely. Let's do it.
I have
Let's
to
do
fly
it.
6 hours to San Diego. I want to meet you.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm only a couple hours away.
Cool.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, so I ended up in New York. I was traveling a lot and fell in love with the city. I moved to New York. I lived in New York. I loved how electrifying it was. It was everything I needed. And then the world had a different plan for me. And I ended up in a New York City hospital faced with a less than 1% chance to survive.
really,
So I had a stroke, not just any stroke, the big mama strokes. I had a pond stroke, a brainstem stroke, and I developed something called locked-in syndrome. So to simplify that, the uh, brainstem stroke is, imagine your brainstem is like the superhighway going into your brain.
hmm,
And so someone can have a stroke on the left side or the right side, and you may not be able to enter that area right away, but over time, it can repair and you can gain some of that function back. When when you have a brainstem stroke, like the one that I had, and every stroke is different, but my particular stroke, it was kind of like putting a barricade at my brainstem, so nothing can come out of my brain. Nothing, everything, things were coming in, but I couldn't come out.
hmm.
So once you're in, that's it. Um, so imagine it's like a town in your brain, and in that superhighway, there's no way out. You got to just stay in your town. So that's basically what was happening to me. I was in my brain, but I wasn't able to communicate. So I was awake and aware, but I wasn't able to talk to my family, tell the doctors, I can hear you, I can feel you, I am alive, I'm here, don't give up on me. I couldn't say any of those things.
And you're
I
32.
was I was 32. So I was just a body laying in a hospital bed.
If I,
And
if I
as a
may, real quick,
yeah,
real
sure.
quick, I just want to show this. This is the pond stroke occurring when blood flow to the pons, a part of the brainstem, is interrupted. I mean, that's epic.
Mhm.
And by the way, that will cause a complete different shift in how your memory works.
It does. It does. And it also depends on what part of your brain was
Mm-hmm.
affected during this process. But yeah, it was it's very, very rare. At the time that I had it, there were less than 5 cases per year worldwide
Are you
of the
serious?
type of stroke that I had. So it was very, very, very rare. So if I was anywhere in the world, I'm glad I was in the hospital that I was in because I was able to receive help immediately. And there were neurologists that understood what I was experiencing. Because there unfortunately is a lot of people that do have this type of stroke and they are written off immediately because there is no movement, there is no action, there's nothing there. So people just give up on them
What's
and
the average age that it happens?
any age. So
Any
strokes
age?
can happen to anyone at any time at any age. And there's no rhyme or reason. And a lot of times people think, well, it's hereditary, or maybe I was under a lot of stress. I mean, those things are factors, but it doesn't have to be. It could be anyway. That's why it's so important to know the signs of a stroke and not ignore them. And I think a lot of times when we're younger in life, we just think that something like that won't happen to us because we're younger and we're busy and life is just lifing. And that couldn't possibly happen to us, right? Well, wrong. It can happen to anyone, anytime. So it's important for you to know the signs and for your partner to know, to be aware of if something like this is happening,
Tell me the signs.
So a good way to remember them is to remember the word fast, because you do need to receive help fast.
Mhm.
So one side of your face drooping, that's a sign. Face, arm, if you can do this little test where you put your arm straight out in front of you, if one starts drooping, one can't lift up as high. And then, so if one side is kind of off a little slower. And then speech, that's also a big one. So if your speech is a little impaired or slurred or not making any sense, those are also signs. And T is for time. It is very, very important that you seek help immediately. And even if you don't think that it's a stroke, but maybe it's something, just like your Jimmy that was just on, he had a mini stroke, which is called a TIA.
Mhm.
And
What does
that
it,
is
what does it stand for?
trans. I should know
I'll
this,
look it
but
up.
I
I'll look
can't.
it up. It's okay. It's okay. I do want to
Um,
actually. I'll revert to you talking while we show his book. I'm going to tell you why. He got up at 4:30 this morning to tell about you.
oh,
4:30 in the morning. And by the way,
and
you're
he's in
at eight
California.
o'clock. I know. I know. When he told me I had to get up at 7:30, I always get up earlier than 7:30, but I don't actually get up the second time at 7:30. I actually get up from 2 to 6 o'clock, do my writing, and I get up again at like 8 o'clock. So this man is actually all about you. He's all
Mm.
about World Stroke Day. He's all about, and by the way, I want to thank you. I asked you a question before we started the show. I said, he's doing an Amazon bestseller. Did you buy the book? You go, of course I did.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, right.
Right
Because
away.
that community is very tight.
It
And
is.
I'm not part of that community, but I do want to say I understand that community because when my mom died of Alzheimer's, it's a community that actually cares about being awakened that life is precious.
No, it is. And I think that all of us get that wake up call when we do, whether it is a TIA, a brainstem stroke, any kind of stroke, a AVM, like whatever it is, it's a wake up call. Even if it's someone in your family that went through it, it's still a wake up call. And it does make you realize that life is precious, life is short, and life should be celebrated. And even in the smallest actions, they should be celebrated. And that's basically what my message is Pinky Moves Project. It is about making small moves and celebrating those small moves to become big results, because they do. When you start celebrating the little things that you're doing and you look at it from the perspective of like, wow, I'm making things happen. And no, you're not, maybe you're not there right away where you want to be, but if you don't start making those small little pinky moves, you'll never get there. So it's important to start celebrating the little things that you're doing now. Just like Jimmy's book, Never, 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 Never Give Up. I mean, that's huge. I used to always say that when I was recovering. People would say, aren't you tired? Like, just relax for a little bit. I can't. I can't relax. Like, I got things to do. I'm never, never, never giving up.
By the way,
So,
I have to correct you for a second.
oh, sorry.
And I'm not saying I have to correct you from a standpoint you did anything wrong, but do you know why he picked never, 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 never?
Um,
I'll tell you.
assuming
You could do
there's,
it. What's the assumption?
I'm assuming that he's got 4 keys
Four
for
chambers,
overcoming adversity.
4 chambers of the heart.
Okay.
And I do want to say that you shared something earlier that I want to make sure people learn about, and that is the definition, as it were, of ADM. Can you see it?
AVM. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, I've taught science, but I'm not going to pretend I can pronounce every single thing that is scientific. But this is how many people do you think are affected by this?
That number, I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to put some actually some links that allow you to see this is actually more prevalent than you think.
Yes. And unfortunately, a lot of times people do have to get that wake up call. And it happens a lot of times in something like that, in a mini stroke, a TIA, or anything like that. And it's kind of, God telling you, hey, relax, chill out. Like, life is lifing, but that's the gift.
Yeah,
That's the gift.
I love you said that
So,
because this thing, people think like I'm over 105 years old, right? I'm over 105.
oh man, sometimes I feel it.
Well, I give this card to people, and if they find out my age, they think, "Wow, it must be good for you." Well, smiling is good for you, but also releasing the fact that you don't need to stress about life. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your pinky moves. You're creating a
Yes.
movement.
I am. So I'm trying to get people aware that
Now, you're not
like I
trying.
said
You are
before.
doing it. You're doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I want to let people know that small moves really do equal big results, because there was a time out 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, I was laying in a hospital bed with a less than 1% chance to survive,
Mm-hmm.
listening to the doctors discuss that they needed to call my family and let them know that I wasn't going to make it, and to call the rest of my family to come say goodbye to me.
So what were you thinking at that
Listening,
point?
yeah, listening to those words, it's surreal. You don't realize that they are talking about you,
Mm-hmm.
because that that's like a movie. That's not real.
Right.
It's not possible, right? And I've always thought that I make my own decisions, not someone else. And in that moment, the doctors were deciding that this was the end of the road for me. Well, that kind of made me angry. And I was like, no, I'm going to show them I'm still in my body. I'm still here. Don't give up on me. Whatever I got to do to make them realize I got to do this. Well, what happened was it was a series of small events, again, small moves.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make those connections to show my doctors and family a
Share
sign
the
that I
small
was still in my
movements.
body.
Share them.
What's that?
Share the small
So
move.
so I was trying to send signals, passing that barricade in my brainstem to the rest of my body to show a movement in my body. But what was happening was I didn't know where I was sending those signals to my body, because I was starting all over. I was like a baby,
Mm-hmm.
just learning my body. So I was sending those signals, but I didn't know what was moving. And they would see movement and they would say, it's involuntary. It's not planned.
But you heard it, right?
And
You heard them
I
saying that?
heard it, but
Yeah.
and then your mind starts to play tricks on you. You start thinking, is it involuntary? Is it not real? Am I not trying to do that? No, I am trying. And I just kept trying and trying and trying. And now I needed to show the same movement over and over so that they can see that it is happening for a reason. And I am
Who was it?
really trying.
Who was it that
My
saw it?
my mom noticed it.
I
But
know.
again, my mom noticed and told the doctors
Yeah.
my daughter's moving on command. And they would say, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. I know you want to believe it, but those movements are involuntary.
Yeah.
And hearing those words, and I know a lot of us go through the same challenges where we try and try and we work and work and work. And it feels like no one notices.
Mm-hmm.
And many times that movement retracts and we start to give up on our dreams, on our goals, because nobody notices, because it's not big enough and it's not substantial enough to make a difference, we think. But really, they don't see what's going on in the back end and how much effort we're trying. And one day that's gonna make a move that's gonna make a big result. And in that very moment, my mom walked over to the doctors and she said, no, I think she is moving on command.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to go check her. They came back in the room and they checked me. And one of my neurologists was about to give up and he said, no, she's not moving. I'm sorry. I know you want to believe it, but it's not happening. But my other neurologist said, no, give her more time. I think she's trying because her face just changed.
Mm.
Well, that was a fraction of a movement. That wasn't a lot. It wasn't big. I didn't friggin' run marathons. I didn't build my website. I didn't speak on national stages. I didn't do any of that. All I did was a fraction of a movement on my face. And they said, give her more time. I think she's trying. That time that they gave me also gave me a little bit more motivation and more inspiration. And now I was fueled by that. Like, okay, they see it. So let me try it again. I tried it again and I was able to make that movement. I was able to send those signals to my pinky to make it move. And in that very moment, that became now my prognosis became a recovery. It became a recovery because I was realizing that I needed to climb this mountain on my own and nobody else was going to do it for me. I needed to put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. And eventually someone will notice. And someone did notice. But I think a lot of us get caught up in the two people noticed. Two people, well, everyone noticed after that. But
no, but it takes the first person to say it, the other person to recognize it's possible, and then it gets bigger. Right.
It also takes us to recognize what we're doing, because a lot of times we ignore what we're doing. We diminish the bigness of it. And we think, yeah, we're doing that, but we're not doing this. And I mean, I did it right. I did it today when I was sharing my speaker reel with you. I shared it with you and then I said, well, it's a work in progress, but here it is. And I thought after, I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I diminished my light because I feel like I'm not there yet. So I have to kind of prep people to know that I'm not a big deal yet. I'm not on these huge global stages. I'm on a few. I'm on a couple platforms, but we tend to do that to ourselves.
Yes.
And
we don't acknowledge that we are the one. So I got 3 things for you, young lady.
Sure.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Number 1, do you know Dr. Michelle Mraz?
I've seen her on your
So
platform. Yes.
I'm going to connect you.
Thank you.
She was completely removed from the fact that she could talk and speak and communicate and have anyone know she's alive. And it hurt her. And it was a very long journey. It was well over a year. Okay. Number two, you and I talked yesterday. It was a really beautiful conversation because you said, Ken, tomorrow's World Stroke Day. And I misunderstood what you wanted me to do. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I didn't communicate it very well. And you said, no, 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 it's not that. It's that I have limitations on what I can process and clarify. And I got how brave you're being. I got how committed you are. And we left the call with love. We left the call with whatever it takes. And
Mm-hmm.
this is World Stroke Day, and Jimmy got up at 4:30 in the morning to say how important you are just after meeting you one time. And well, I should say meeting you through text and maybe a couple of texts back and forth. But the point is that people that are awakened, including myself, not because of a stroke, but because someone else dies, you're actually given a gift. And that gift is, how are you going to change the world with what you have? And I promise you, when you meet Dr. Michelle Mraz and she becomes a bestie of yours, it'll catapult you into where you want to be because she's a champion for that. And the last thing I want to do for you, just to have you smile real quick. You ready for this? I
I
want to.
love it.
Yeah, the pinky moves is everything. I have had people say, "Would you please do this, please?" And I do it, and I do it. But today I do it for you because it's World Stroke Day. Um, you know, it's interesting. Every show I do, I let it be raw. I let it be unpredictable. And
Mhm.
today is no difference because it's beautiful. But what what I want to do for you and for the audience is to have them know that you were them and they were you. You were born somewhere and you had a childhood just like they did, and you didn't know 32 years later you'd have a stroke. So would you be kind enough to share in 3, 4, 5 minutes where you're born, what your childhood was like, and anything at all that might have caused you to be who you are today?
Yeah. So I think that a lot of the reason that a lot of people see me as a resilient person, my parents raised me to never give up. They were the
What did
ones
they
that
do?
were they had me do a lot of things on my own. So a lot of times I would ask them for help and they would have me try first.
So
And
that's parenting. What I wanted to ask before
yes.
that is, what did they do that caused them to be like that?
So my father came here from Mexico and he wanted to open his restaurant. He worked in restaurants for a long time. He opened his restaurant and it's still open today. He's since passed, but it's still his legacy still lives on. He taught us the his work ethic and determination. One thing that he always instilled in us is no one's coming to save you. You have to do it yourself. If you receive help from people, that's a plus, but you have to do it yourself. If you want it bad enough, nothing and no one can stop you. And I remember having conversations with my dad, and he would always tell me, like, do you want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. So what's going to happen? I'm just going to do it. Yeah. People are going to watch you do it. That's it. I can, I will, watch me. I can, I will, watch me. And he made me realize that it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, what is up against you, where you were born, what
Mm-hmm.
family you were born into, what surrounds you, what neighborhood you up in. It doesn't matter. If you have a dream and you want it bad enough and you never, ever, ever give up, it can absolutely happen. But the moment that you give up on your dream, it's not going to happen.
Well,
So
if I may, I want to interject something very important here. Is, if you don't believe in yourself, how could you ever believe someone else would? It
right.
That's the point. Like people think that, well, I want people to believe in what I just thought of. Well, you didn't do anything yet. You just thought of it. And the
Exactly.
reason I believe in you is because of who you've been in the short time I've known you, that I care to cause you to actually achieve it because I have that hopefully power to move you forward. That's what I want to do, move you forward.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. I do have a question for you that's kind of wacky. You
Yeah.
ready for a wacky question? Unpredictable.
Okay. I'm down.
So your hair is two colors. What does that
Yeah.
mean? What does that mean?
So I used to have all black hair,
Hmm.
but so because I'm a stroke survivor, you see that scar on my
Hmm.
neck.
Yep. Yep.
While I was in the hospital, I had the machines breathing for me. And when they took the trach out, they didn't realize that it had built scar tissue.
Hmm.
And this scar tissue kept blocking my airways. But every time I would go in for surgery, they would cut out the scar tissue and it would grow back.
Hmm.
And they would cut it out and it would grow back. And it just kept on doing that over and over. So I've had 11 surgeries on my airways. And every time I would go under anesthesia, the reaction that I would have, my hair would go gray and it would
Really?
go more gray and more gray. And being someone with black hair, I didn't want to go gray. So I embraced the very front of my hair being gray, and then I just kind of tone it blonde. But the rest of my hair is also gray, but I have to dye it black. And I just do that as a result of all of my hair going gray after so many surgeries. But I'm lucky enough that those surgeries have decreased and I don't have as many, almost none now since I owe that to grounding. I don't know if you have ever heard of
I
grounding,
do.
but
No grounding.
grounding is
Barefoot.
it, barefoot on the grass, man. It's changed my life in so many ways. And that's one of them.
And it'll change
So
anyone's life. Anyone's life.
anyone,
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
getting
it's
connected to the earth.
being connected to the earth. And it honestly, it does so many things to your body where it balances you out so much because we've lost connection to Mother Earth. And
Mhm.
there's so many benefits to putting your bare feet on the ground. And before I was such a germaphobe, I would never do it. But now I'm actually an advocate for earthing and I'll actually give you one of my links to them. And I've been in their documentary and I've been interviewed by the Mother Earth Effect book and by Olivia Smith, that is the author, and I'll connect you with her too.
Awesome.
But yeah, there's so many benefits in earthing, and I recommend anyone go do it. It's free. You can go do that outside. Just put your bare feet on the ground.
So you've done a lot of podcasts, a lot of interviews. I mean, your project is growing. It's becoming a movement. Have you ever had anyone ask you about your hair like that?
I have actually a few people.
Okay. Have you?
Yes, so it is a topic.
Well, that and by the way, I commend you for that because if it's not a topic, you're not doing it right. If it is a topic, you are causing people to ask because you never asked me to say, "Tell me about your hair."
That's right. People just ask me.
Yeah, but the point is, you're causing people. I think it is that it's abrupt. It's disjointed. Um it's conflicting from a standpoint of you need to know that life is a conflict. If you choose to make it a conflict, that's your choice. But if you don't, you can get out of the conflict and be free.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. I think a lot of times we think when things happen, they happen to us and not for us.
right.
And honestly, I think with everything that I've been going through, it's happening for me. I used to think that the scar on my neck, oh man, people are going to judge me, people. But now it's a conversation. People want to know what happened to your throat. And they want to know
So
where did that scar
was your
come
voice
from?
different?
My voice was completely different.
Yeah, I
It
thought
was
so. So
complete.
50 Cent is going to hear this interview and he's going to say, "I want to do a duet with you."
Oh, absolutely.
50 Cent's voice was affected by gunshots.
No way.
Yeah, so
Wow.
watch this movie. When he had the
Didn't know that.
it was nine shots to him, and he was
Wow.
lucky to be alive afterwards. But what happened is one of the bullets apparently affected his voice, and when he did his new voice with rapping, people said, "Oh my gosh, I love your new voice. It's got grit."
Yeah.
It's got growth.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be kind of self-conscious about it.
Yeah,
And since then I've received compliments about my throat and or my voice. And I used to think, gosh, I wish I had a normal voice, but what's normal these days? You
exactly.
know? And I actually think it's a blessing
Or
that
remember before you talked, I
I
said you will never be on my show, and then you spoke, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have grit in your voice. You're on my show.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So everything happens for a reason. The scar on my neck, the gray hair, when people are affected by strokes and they walk with a limp, or they have aphasia and their words don't come out right,
Mhm.
or they're affected by their brain injury and they don't have their short-term memory is affected, or their long-term memory. They don't remember saying those words like, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I have a brain injury. That gives other people the ability to look at themselves and go, oh, if they can do it, then I can do it too. So all of these things are for a reason. I mean,
Or that they're just have empathy because they know Alzheimer's or dementia, or they've had a TMI. And by the
oh
way,
yeah,
you had me when you told me. I apologize. I can't remember everything. I shared this in a show earlier today, and ironically, I can't remember which show I shared it, but I was in a very serious car accident and I was out. And when I came back, I didn't remember anything that happened the last 2 years. Seriously, I didn't. And I wrote note cards, and I actually wrote potentially 2 or 3 thousand note cards of people I knew, and I had to know them again. That's crazy.
yes. That was on Jimmy's interview. I heard it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely, it makes you do life differently and appreciate life differently. I mean, there's been many things that I've had to do. Like I live off of post-it notes
Yeah.
everywhere
Yeah.
because I mean, I put them on my door before you walk out. Remember these things, you have to do them. I have them on my driver, on my in my car. I have them on my mirror. I
We
have
need to
them.
get we need to get Post-it to sponsor you.
That would be phenomenal because I use a lot of them.
Yeah, I love the new Post-it commercial where the big blob of Post-its is posting things everywhere for people to remember stuff. And the thing that's interesting about it for me is someone that doesn't have a TMI or a stroke or anything else, they are allowing themselves to be forgetful and use the excuse, I can't remember everything. But with someone that actually has legitimacy, like you specifically and me a little bit, I say, I got to compensate for this. And you actually become a superpower of memory. Because people are like, how do you remember all these things? I'm like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of
Yeah.
work,
Oh, it is. It is. It's
but it's
I
good
think
work.
it's a full-time job.
Yeah, but it's
But
good work because you actually become a functioning superpower of humanity.
yeah.
I don't
You
think it's
can
just functioning. I think it's superpower of
I
humanity.
think I think you can either let your deficits um hurt you or help you. And I think that when we choose the latter, um, I think our lives change, and not just ours, other people's, as a result of saying, you know what, this is my life and it's actually my superpower. Like you said, it becomes something different. And now you're able to build on that. And I think that that has been my superpower in this journey, is looking at my deficits from a different perspective. And I mean, just like with you, I remember when we were first having this conversation, I have gotten very used to apologizing and telling people, I'm sorry, I might not remember everything, or I might not pick up everything you're laying down. You might be making things crystal clear to, I call them normies, people that have not had any kind of brain injury or anything like that. They might pick it up, but for me, it takes a little longer. And if I'm encounter somebody that doesn't give me grace on that, that's okay, because some will, some won't. So what? Move on, Brisa. Move on. And so if I'm going to be completely transparent with you and tell you what I'm struggling through, and for some reason you didn't take it, that's okay.
Yeah.
Move on. I think a lot of us get caught up in like, we have to keep over explaining and get them to understand our perspective when we need to just let it go, move on. That's going to free us so much more than trying to convince someone that we're struggling. Why convince them? Just move on and keep going. I don't know. That's just what's been helping
No,
me. And
I think that's brilliant. And I want to say that everyone with an excuse has a TBI because they're not using their brain to actually cause them to be powerful. And sometimes a stroke actually causes us to embrace the fact we weren't, and we cause it to be that superpower. And it's not that it's sad, it's just a lot of people don't know their power. And I just want to say, when you wrote this beautiful sentiment to me in your book, I want to read it out to the audience. Dr. Smiley, this was my pinky move. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you for amplifying goodness in this world. Love, Brisa. And it is a heart, not love, but I do read it as love. And so I just want to say thank you, because those sentiments caused me to really take a deeper dive into who your message is, who you are, and who your message is for. And there's a part here, small moves to your great life after a paralyzing stroke. And it's not about a paralyzing stroke, just so I would like to share. It's about being paralyzed, period.
yeah, so many of us walk around like this and we think that we can't move forward. And we all, in a way, a lot of us are also locked in our bodies, locked in our circumstances, locked in our lives. And we don't realize that we can change that. We can, by making those small moves and small adjustments, we can live a limitless life as long as you believe that. Otherwise, you're going to stay confined to your circumstances.
Yes. And I encourage you to get this book. We'll put a link on the show, but there's one chapter I wanted you to expand on, and it was actually one of the last chapters, No More Bad Days.
Yeah. I feel like every day that I'm alive and well, it's a gift from God, and I'm not going to waste it. And many times I think we waste our day and our times with majoring in minor things, like traffic and weather. Mm-hmm. And I mean, many times you hear people just complaining about the traffic and the weather. Man, you're lucky you're driving. You're in a car, you're driving with the AC and your music bumping. Or the weather, that it's cold and it's hot, it's whatever. I mean, that's normal. That's all of us do it. But at the end of the day, we got to think about it. We're alive and well and living our lives. We should focus on the good. When we start focusing on the good, we attract more of the good. And I think that is a big reason to smile. And honestly, I think that if we learn how to change our thoughts in that very moment, we will change our lives. That's where we get caught up. And the very moment where you say something negative and those words come out of your mouth, it's okay. Just retract and say, wait, what am I saying? And then go back and change it. Nobody's saying that you have to live with it. Nobody's saying that, okay, you already said it, now it is set in stone. No, you can retract it and you can go back and now start to celebrate the good that you see, the good that you are experiencing. And as a result of that, you will start to see more good. It's like finding the red in the room. Mm-hmm. When you look around and look for the red in the room, can you call it out? Sure, you can call it out. But what if you were asked to look for the red in the room, and then right away they ask you, okay, now name everything blue that you saw? You don't even realize it because you weren't focused on it. You get what you focus on.
Yes.
So change your focus, change your life.
So the big point I'd like to make about this book here is you focused on your story and how you overcame it, and for other people that have been technically paralyzed by a stroke. Is that kind of accurate?
You know what? When I first started writing it, it was for me.
I know.
It was because I
Yeah,
wanted to get it out.
exactly.
And then later I realized, wow, this is not for me. This is for everybody. Everybody going through something that
I
feels
know.
stuck.
And what I want to just give you a little advice as a brother, because I'm your brother now, and you're my adopted sister, is that this book here, with a small modification, this book is for everybody. And it's just that after you feel paralyzed,
Yeah.
because you can feel paralyzed just by having a bankruptcy. You can feel paralyzed because you had someone attack you and you're fighting for your life.
Yep.
And yours was a stroke. And I do think
Yep.
that doesn't, it's not a problem if you say dot, 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 even a stroke. I don't think that's a problem. But your book, when I'm looking at it, it's not a book for people that had strokes or heart attacks. It's for people that are
Yep.
stopped.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
And
know if you ever had that said during an interview, but I'm telling you, this book, I would
thank you.
love to publish it. And I hope I hope that we can have a conversation because this book is way too powerful for it not to be in everyone's hands.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I've been wanting to rewrite my book and change it up or write another one. I'm not sure
I
exactly
think both.
which.
It's both.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to do something like the power of pinky moves because
Yes.
it does have this huge compound effect. And um, there's so much that I want to say and like so much that I've learned since writing the book.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
know you
so
have. I
we'll
know you have,
we'll have to have a deeper conversation about that later.
as we shall. So I want to have some closing comments. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to that is a stroke victim or would love to hear their name because they inspired you? Because today is World Stroke Day. So if you'd
World
like to,
Stroke Day.
yeah, if you want to name anybody and say you inspired me or you made a difference in my life, this is your time. By the way, there's no time limit. If you went 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it's your choice. Whatever you want to do.
Oh, thank you. There is so many people that are movers and shakers and game changers in the stroke recovery world that I've connected with and that I've been watching, their journey from when I started my journey and to others that are just starting their journey now.
Mm-hmm.
And they've inspired me. And I think that, so this morning I was just looking at some of their pages because they are posting today because it's World Stroke Day. I don't have all of them. I was listing
You don't need
some
to
of
have all of
them.
them. If you just want to even name one or
But
two, whatever you want to name.
first one I want to say is Jimmy, because he gave me a shout out on his show and he has a book out now and he's doing big things. And I know he's going to be a voice in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the voices that we have now, um, there is an organization called Hope for Stroke Survivors. And my friend Fat, he runs it. And he's an amazing, inspirational human. And I've had a chance to interview on his platform, interview other stroke survivors as well. Marnie was one of them. And we collaborated with an amazing poem that she wrote dedicated to stroke survivors. And in that, we had people from all over the world, stroke survivors from all over the world, sharing a little bit. And we made it, I'll have to share it with you. It's an amazing, um, amazing video that I put together with AVM superhero Greg. I think he lives in the Bahamas now. He interviews people. He's a super inspirational human. And Bill with Recovery After Stroke. I think he's in the UK somewhere. I've been on his podcast, and several of my stroke survivor friends community has also been on there. Betty with Stronger Than Stroke. She's here in California. Enna is in Nigeria, and she's doing amazing things. She's wrote a book herself and also a children's book to let children start having children become aware of these things. And Maddie and Tawny, they're also here in the United States, and they're doing huge things. And they have stroke survivor support groups that they initiate, and they have them all over the country. And that's really huge. So that's just to name a few, but there's so many more
So
big people.
I have two, I guess, gifts for you, as it were.
Yeah.
So you have already broken a record that you're on 3 shows a day with your book, and you
Oh,
were
thank you.
physically on one show. So two other shows allowed, and we're inspired by you enough on World Stroke Day. But I want to give you a couple more gifts. So gift number one is just to share that I did some searches, and World Stroke Organization president Jiraj Pandian. I don't know him, but we're going to do a reach out to him because he was on the show technically today. Number two is World Stroke Organization. Every minute counts. And this seems like a great organization to support your book and also support you. And then the surprise one is I've met some of these people. Randy Travis had a stroke, and I met him after he had a stroke, and he was a completely different person. But I didn't know Woodrow Wilson, but there's some amazing people, Winston Churchill, that have had that awakening. I'll call it an awakening more than a stroke, is that life is
Yeah.
finite. And I want to really see how big this conversation can get, because 2 weeks ago we were going to do a show and we didn't. And I said, well, when would we do it? And I said, I don't know. And you said, well, let's see if there's a better day. And I did a search, and I didn't know this day existed. And here it is, that we're creating a day that wakes the world up. That I've lost all my grandparents to heart attacks and strokes. So this is not a small problem. It's a very big problem.
It is.
And I just want to say to you, if the people that you just named, if there's a way they can reach me today
Mhm.
and or tomorrow, but specifically today, because I have the rest of my day to do this, I would interview them to share how they've made a difference in the world. And I would like to show your book 7 more times to set a record I could probably never break again, which 3 is already a record. But to show your book 7 more times, that's pretty significant. And your book is beautiful. It's absolutely
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
so are you
Thank
ready
you.
to do the rapid fire?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I am.
Here we go, young lady.
So, okay.
All right. What book changed your life?
Oh my gosh. The Secret.
Awesome.
The Secret.
And what
Hmm.
movie inspires you?
Of all the things, Matrix.
Really?
Of
Okay.
all the movies, The
I
Matrix.
think I
Yeah.
think you should have been in it. That's my opinion.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. There's a whole, I mean, I could go down a rabbit hole with all of that, the difference between the mind and the brain. But that movie says things. I mean, I've seen it so many times from different perspectives,
Mhm.
and it so speaks my language when I'm talking about when I nerd out when it comes to the mind and the brain.
Yeah,
So when I watch The Matrix, I'm watching it from a different perspective, and it lights me up. I love that movie.
it's awesome. And what
Mm-hmm.
song gets you going?
So I love Fight Song by Rachel Platten. I think her name is
It's a good song.
Fight Song. Mm-hmm.
And who's your hero?
My hero, there's a funny way, two different ways to answer that. One, my mom and dad are my heroes because they never let me give up, even when I wanted to.
Mhm.
Because there are going to be times where you are going to go through things in life, and you have to have a strong support system behind you, and people that don't even let you give up and actually put the mirror in front of you and show you who you are. So to answer that same question, I was inspired, and I was inspired by my heroes, my mom and dad, but they're the ones that put the mirror in front of me to realize that the true hero is myself. I have to think of who I want to be. My future self inspires me every day.
So, if there was ever a question of your genius, you just broke it completely apart with that question and answer. I'll tell you why. Most people, and I'm saying in the 99 percentile and above, say, this is my hero, or I wish I could name two. You said out of the gate, I have two, and it caused a third. And I just want to tell you that's breaking molds. And breaking molds is how the world actually becomes bigger and better. So
Mm,
that's genius. So I
thank you.
do, I'm not just acknowledging you for it. I'm telling you, I've done 600 shows. This is a very unique answer. So
Thank you.
some
I
people have simply
appreciate that.
said, my mom, I wish I could say another. Some people say it's me because it's who I've become, but no one's ever done that triple combo.
We,
All
man,
right. So,
I have a unique brain now. So,
yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I want to applaud you because that unique brain is causing you not to answer a question the way you don't want to answer it. You're answering the way you want to. That's that's a genius, by the way.
thank you. Thank you. I've been told otherwise, but I'll take genius.
It's genius or on the low side brilliant because if you hear a question, by the way, people that are super smart, they don't hear the question, they hear what they want to say and they mold the question to give the answer they want. And that's brilliant. So seriously. Are you ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
Well, not technically last one, the last one in the rapid fire. Rapid fire, last question. What quote do you live by?
Can I do that? Small
You can do it.
moves, big results.
That's
Pinky moves, small moves,
and
big
then over on
results.
the other side, Brisa.
That's my name. Yeah.
I know, but my point is you wrote it, you said it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, this is mine. This is on me.
All right. My
Yes.
last and final question. The question that causes hopefully the biggest reaction.
Oh, okay. Say that again.
I am going to tell you it. I said the question, the last question it is the one that I hope will cause the biggest reaction.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yes.
I never told you about this question,
No.
but you're going to love it. You're going to smile so big. How can
Ready.
people connect with you, follow you, and celebrate you?
Oh. You can connect with me on social media. My name here on the bottom, Brisa Alfaro, or you can go to pinkymoves.com and there I should have a free gift for you if anyone's interested. And you can connect with me one-on-one, or if you'd like me to speak to your audience or anyone in particular that is going through a difficult time, I love changing their perspective. So,
And here is pinkymoves.com. I strongly encourage you to go there, check it out, follow her socials. Obviously, they're all at the bottom here. So head on down there and follow her, connect with her, and get her book before I publish it. All right. So,
yes, thank you.
Brissa, you've been a wonderful guest. You certainly epitomize and embrace what this show's about, which is amplifying goodness of heart centered leaders. And you are awesome. So,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Likewise.
Keep smiling. Support this young lady. She's doing great things. She's got a great voice. And oh,
Pinky moves.
I'll do it again.
I
Have a
love it.
great day.
Thank you. Bye, guys.